Hello and welcome to the October 2021 Fire Chief's Message. I'm here today at Station 32 with Jay. A couple different things. Congratulations, Jay. I sent out a message last night to the organization about your move next week to the recruiting battalion position. Thank you and congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to it. I've been involved in the promotional exams for many years, and I was on the recruitment team for a short period of time, but I'm excited what we could possibly do in the future to, increase people to apply to the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kelly Mullendor with 1E, Chase Fabrizio, and were selected last week for their positions, and Kelly is staying as the staffing battalion.
Okay.
And as I outlined, some of the tracking of FMLA and mill and sick leave will be transitioning into her office, and more information will be forthcoming on that. And the recruiting position was changed from a captain to the battalion chief, and that's going to consolidate all uniformed positions, career and professional, civilian staff, into one shop, as well as you just said, the promotional activities on the career side, all into one shop, and you're transitioning into that. Chase is going to transition into the Battalion 5 A shift position that you have today, and that you're joining me at Station 32 while covering. So a lot of good stuff going on, and thank you very much for that. And we will continue to focus on the men and women of the organization and all of the folks and the residents in the community. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Chief.
Now you're also back as sitting in for PIO Pete. That's why you're here with me today, and we're jamming about a lot of stuff. And COVID is still with us, right?
It is. It is. Our numbers are going up. A lot of our members are off because of COVID, and we're supporting them to the best of our ability, but it is still present and relevant in our day-to-day operations.
And that's exactly the point, is we're 18, 19 months since the quote beginning. The reality is it's here with us. It'll be here with us for quite a period of time to come in the future. Our norm has changed, and as we talk about what is the operational tempo, COVID as a community health issue is here. Absolutely. It's about 20 people today on the career volunteer side that are out in some level of illness or quarantine exposure. That impacts everybody, their coworkers, their family members, their shift, the shift itself, the workforce availability, be it the duty crew or the A shift at Station X. We still are working through how reporting goes. I want to encourage everybody, career and volunteer, who has yet to report their status, to please report that. There's several different mechanisms. I know it's confusing. I absolutely want to acknowledge that on the volunteer side, there's a SAMS path that's been created for most folks to be able to utilize. If you're not using SAMS, there's an email that was communicated as a way to send that information in. On the employee side, the career side, please do it through OHR's link. We still have only about 70% on the career side reported. So there's a gap there. More information is occurring. Just the other day, the discussion about the vaccine mandate at council was occurring. That will be moving on into committee work session in the coming weeks. The focus here is we need to focus on each other, focus on the residents, treat each other with respect. These are personal health and medical decisions. These are things that we need to focus on. Mrs. Smith, Mr. Doe, who are the ones calling us for 911 care. And when we do that, treat them with respect, treat your coworkers with respect, be professional in all of our course and places. Be prepared for that next run. Be prepared for that uptick in fire activity as we get into the colder months. We're going to see alternative heat sources, and those those fires. And we've had a little streak of fires with a little unique event in Gaithersburg the other night with some incendiary purposes at one time. But all of this is going on all combined together. So when you're all in public, on a building inspection, getting food, running an EMS call, face covers, surgical mask, based upon medium or high risk information on patient encounters, transitioning to the N95 and the shields and the gown, absolutely. So a lot going on.
Yep. So, we have best practices. We have all the PPE. Like you said, we're just going to, keep wearing our face coverings when necessary and try to reduce these numbers, deconning the unit as much as possible, engaging with patients and wearing the appropriate PPE is a must. And there'll be more communications from either you or from the operations chief. So,
check out that novel hazard brief. Check that link, infectious disease link out at the beginning of your shift or your duty cycle, as there could be new information there, and absolutely work together. If you have questions, contact FROMS, do the contact FROMS form. Be there. There's a great team ready to help. So
yeah, they are very receptive. They get back to the employee or the member, very quickly. I'm hearing good things from FROMS and how they're receiving, a lot of information.
Yep, and we may have talked about it here, but FROMS is in their new place at 27 Courthouse Square.
Yeah, very nice. Had my physical, yeah.
Great opportunity, and they're settled in. Flu shots were being offered there as well as in a couple remote locations, but Chief Carpenter, Captain Cummins are there, and moving good things happening at FROMS.
He is, he's ramping up physicals. He is trying to get as many people in. If someone calls out sick on their physical, he is trying to fill that position immediately, trying to get back on track. Health and wellness is very important to our members.
Yep, absolutely. So with health and wellness, there's a lot of activity on the fleet side. Last week I was at CMF, and new truck 6 was there, and they were doing tool mounting demonstrations. So it is currently planned for the second week of November. The group will be back out in Wisconsin doing the final inspection on what is now truck 25 and truck 31. So 6, 34, 16 are already local in a point. Like I said, truck 6 has been on campus. They were doing some training with some of the companies, and tool mounting is preparing to occur on that. So good work on the TDAs there. And then the towers, the 5 all steer, that's been a confirmation that they will be with all steer mid-mount ascendants. So the finals of that, 2 of them are expected in April, and the other 3 will be finaled in November, naturally, next year.
And rescue squads, Chief? What's
So the rescue squads, I am troubled to say, the rescue squads had to go back to the factory. Okay. So 3 and 29 had to go back to the factory in New Jersey for paint issues. The factory identified a conflict in a certain area of the rig, knew the paint was going to become a downstream problem, so they were back to the factory. That was resolved. They're back at the local dealer. Squad 17 should be getting inspected as well in the month of November. It's final. So the tool mounting was done on the first squad, and it should have been already in station for driver's training, but this paint issue delayed that. So soon we will see them at 3/29 for a little over a month of driver training orientation.
Oh, before they go in service.
Correct.
Excellent.
Yep,
Thank you.
Yep, that's the latest plan on that. And then there's work ongoing with the manufacturers for rescue engine 714 as well as tanker 735. Talking about 35, you may have been by there recently. I keep telling the folks at 35, you're going to know it before I do. Yeah. The middle of October, and we're smack in the middle of October, was when the first phase was supposed to be completed. The award has been made to Keller Brothers.
Okay.
They're the contractor for the general, And I said to the folks at 35, you're going to drive by the site and see silt fence and a construction trailer plop on the site. That'll absolutely be your sign that work is begun. So Keller Brothers did 25, has done a lot of work with the county, and I still believe here this month we're going to see site work start up, and that really starts the roughly 2-year clock.
2 years.
2 years
Okay.
of
I'll hold you to that, Chief. When I see that silt fence, I'll put it in my calendar.
put it in your calendar, come back here and videotape me in 23 October and see if that's where we're at when the groundbreaking or the cutting of the ribbon's going to be.
Okay, great.
So that's the story there. There's still some work that was just delayed at 25. 25 is going to have to get their floor epoxied, applied / fixed. So 25 is not finished. That 2-year extreme renovation is still ongoing, but
We just did a boss talk there. It is a great firehouse. It's huge. That's got to be the largest firehouse in the county.
indeed the number of resources that are stationed there will be stationed there once the battalion comes back and the boat comes back for good and all that. It's no doubt they need those 5 bays. No doubt that there won't be any leftover room in the building practically by the time we move in with what we plan to put there. And again, there's 15 or so people working a day at the second busiest station in the county. So a lot of needs square footage wise. Really good focus thanks to the group that worked on it. And that was a 15-year project roughly. It started in the mid-2000s and then got shelved based upon the economic downturn. And then when it came back off the shelf, got a little rework, twisted up around, and then now almost a 2.5-year project from the groundbreaking of the new bays to the relative completion of the buildings, and there's still some things ongoing. Right. Yep. So as we deal with October, we've had our, like I said, up and down and some fires. And clearly we're going to break the heaters out, or people are using heaters. And as I said, what do you got talking about fall fire uptick?
Yeah, so we run an increase in carbon monoxide events. So I can't tell people enough. Make sure you're calibrating your meters. If something doesn't seem right on that meter, call Hazmat. That's what they're here for.
Great story from Company 10 that Chief Browning, Chief Bailey pushed out. Something didn't seem right, and the meter was reading this, and acetylene was the issue, but that was through the consult of HMO, provided that reference, and bam, there's a tank that's leaking.
Yeah, in that information that was pulled out, you do not need to be a hazmat tech to realize that there is an issue here. Right. And acetylene is one of those that we don't see on a regular basis. It is used in our community every single day, and it is very unstable.
Indeed. So as you outlined, carbon monoxide, alternative heat sources, incomplete combustions, we get all the space heater things.
We get an uptick in fires, just combustibles too close to heating sources, right?
Yep, and then sadly we will have the fireplace ashes put out in the cardboard box or in the plastic can on the back porch. Yep. But all of that, so.
Pete does a good job on social media pushing out those messages. Our community outreach people do a great job in putting out flyers. So we're going to have a upcoming community outreach program.
Yep. So we're finishing quote up October. We're almost halfway through October. It is the fire prevention month. We had a great visit 2 weeks ago with the FEMA administrator and the U.S. Fire Administrator acting folks that were at the academy, and great to see both of them out, and our risk reduction folks, Jim Resnick, Beth Ann, Oscar, Anthony, do an amazing job. We did not have the traditional open houses this year due to the pandemic, due to the safety plans to support everybody, both our most influential kids, the less than 12-year-olds that are unable to be vaccinated, coming to the stations. We absolutely go out there to that planned event at the child care center, touch the trucks, show the rigs. We have good parameters out there to let us be engaged with the community and keeping the kids safe, keeping each other safe. I was popped in on Station 8 when they did one the other day at Montgomery Village Avenue. Everybody, all the kids love seeing, the fire apparatus. It's just something that in the stations, open houses was just a little bit too big of a hurdle to overcome.
Right. We're about reducing risk. We do a good job with that
every day.
And by eliminating those guests by coming into the firehouse, we're reducing risk.
Yep.
Going to their location where they have control.
Outside air.
We're wearing
covers.
face coverings. They're wearing face coverings.
Absolutely.
It's just a better atmosphere
Absolutely.
to learn in.
Yep. So great work. BA and company put out a lot of resources. There was a thing about how stations can get their resources ordered, but this is Fire Prevention Month. We're always out there sharing information and make sure that we're prepared. So lots going on, as there always is, and this is a great point of us picking up those points.
Next week, Chief, captain's exam. Going to have a lot of applicants taking the captain's exam. Growth in the department, right? Yep. Attrition, people, we're going to have some vacancies in the future.
Yep. And this is the first time since we've sat here together that absolutely my entry to the drop October 1, and there's a lot of that continual as this organization does plan for transitions and changes. That's a part of what we're looking at in the future. So a lot going on. So again, Jay, thanks for your jumping into the recruiting battalion position and moving that. And thanks for sitting in Pete's place here together, and we'll see what the reviews are, see if you get to come back or if Pete comes back.
We can put a survey out there, see if they want me over Pete. I'm good with participating.
Not a problem. So
thanks, Chief.
No problem, Jay. So again, it's October. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, getting ready for that cold weather. Do you have your cold weather bag on the rig for that getting wet, getting cold for that event? Temperatures have been in the mid 40s here in a couple mornings, so clearly only a week or two from now we could be in the 30s, and you could be looking to get that wet clothes off to get into some dry stuff as you're on the scene. So get ready for that call. Take care. Look out for each other. Be respectful. Be professional and relevant in your actions. Until next month, thank you much.